Well, we are back in the library, but only briefly because the rest of this is going to be a vlog of me reading the most popular book in our school library last year, and one of the most popular the year before too, which is One of Us is Lying by McManus. This is always so popular, and it was #1 last year. I show the book trailer a lot for it and do book talks, and we have 1 million copies of this book, and somehow I've never read it, and all I know is that people tell me that it is The Breakfast Club meets, like, I don't know, murder, basically. It doesn't actually say that on the inside, but I know it's like 5 kids walk into detention and only 4 walk out alive, and like each of the 4 of them are some sort of, almost like a stereotype, like there's the jock and the popular girl and the brains and the other one's the criminal who's on probation for dealing, and that there was this guy named Simon who made a gossip app, which sounds to me a lot like Gossip Girl, and he's gonna leak their secrets out. Even sort of sounds like, I don't know, Pretty Little Liars or something is what those two things make me think of, and that he, it doesn't say it on here, but I'm pretty sure that in the detention, yeah, the kid, it doesn't say how he died, but it says death wasn't an accident. I think he gets, he has an allergic reaction to like peanut butter, or like somebody gives him peanuts or whatever it is. Somehow he has an allergic reaction and dies. And so that's what everyone tells me. I know that it's, yeah, The Breakfast Club plus murder, and all these people, the 4 other classmates that were in detention with him, all have a reason possibly to kill him. They are all the suspects in his murder, or are they just the perfect patsies for a killer who's still on the loose? And I remember reading that basically like the police think it's one of these 4, and they spend all their time investigating those 4, and the 4, I don't know if maybe the 4 realize that they're, you know, that the real killer's out there, so they're gonna have to do something about it. I don't know if they're gonna be the ones to track down the real killer or if we're just gonna find out who the real killer is. But anyway, this book's a little bit longer than I expected. There is a sequel, yeah, One of Us is Next, which we also have in the library, and I think the same 4 characters are in this book, so if that's the case, then I don't think any of the 4 characters in this one are going to be the killer, considering, you know, there's a sequel. And then the same author has another book, Two Can Keep a Secret, but this is not the sequel to One of Us is Lying. It's just by the same author. So I might read this one too. I've never read a book by McManus, but she's super popular. She has another book called The Cousins. I think she has another book that just came out recently, or what is it called? Till Death Do Us Part, or I don't know, I might have made that up. But anyway, she's got a lot of books. So we're gonna read this, and I'm gonna update you probably 25% or so of the book, and just kind of let you know my thoughts. I also have the audio book, so I'm definitely gonna be listening to it as well. I already got it from the library, so when I previewed it, I saw when I literally just started the first chapter, it said that it's a full cast of characters, basically. Like there's a character or a different narrator for each of the 4 main characters, so that's gonna be interesting, which of course already tells me that it goes back and forth between their points of view, so that's interesting. So I think that might be good for a lot of my male and female readers. Like, it'd be good for everybody, because a lot of times I've had male students complain that there's not a lot of books with male protagonists, and they're kind of right. And so this mystery might be good for boys and girls because of the boy and girl perspectives that it switches back and forth between. So anyway, I'm gonna start this book. If I like it, I'll read the sequel. Oh, and there's a TV show now. My students, no, not students, who was it? Oh no, somebody in a comment, that's what it was. Somebody in a comment on one of my recent videos when I talked about this being the most popular book said that there is a TV show now. I don't think it's even advertised on this book. No, it doesn't look like it. But there is one, and I think it's on like, you know, the NBC Peacock channel, whatever. I don't think it was like on actual TV, like it's like a made for TV kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to start this and I'll let you know how it is. Okay, this is so random. Before we get started, there is a literal carnival across the street from my school. An actual, straight up, let me show you. An actual carnival. I'm zooming in. Look at this. This is across the street from me in a park. What the heck? It's actually really big too. Like, it goes forever. It's like for 4th of July weekend, I guess, and it's already set up. But anyway, yeah, super weird. Okay, first update, I am 9% in already, and I'm intrigued because it's different. So it's the different points of view, right? And from all the 4 main characters. So one of them can't be the killer because we would know, because we're inside their head. So they can't hide that from us. So I'm pretty positive it's not any of the 4, because I think they're in the sequel. So it's going to look like it's one of those 4, and then really it's going to be like somebody else entirely, like maybe one of their girlfriends or boyfriends, or maybe I've probably not even been introduced to the killer yet, honestly. But anyway, I'm going to go run 3 miles to get ready for this 10K, and I have to do one more long run on Sunday before the real thing. So I'm actually running around downtown. I'm near daycare right here. And so I'm going to go listen to my audiobook while I run 3 miles. So, which will definitely take me over 30 minutes, probably like 35 minutes. So I'll get another good chunk in and then I'll give you an update as to my actual thoughts on the book. Okay, I'm back from running. I just want to give you a quick update on One of Us is Lying. So I am now 25% through this book. I've listened to quite a bit of it this morning. My thoughts are interesting. It's definitely not quite what I expected. So the premise, all I knew going into it, is that it's like the Breakfast Club except with murder, and that they're in detention, and one kid doesn't walk out alive. I thought that the entire thing was taking place during detention because it said it's like the Breakfast Club. Now, I'm going to admit, I've never seen the movie The Breakfast Club, but I do know that I'm pretty sure the entire movie pretty much takes place in detention, right? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So I thought the entire book was going to take place in detention and that we were going to have to figure out who the killer was while they were there. I don't know how I thought that was going to work, but it is definitely not that. So, the detention happens first thing at the beginning of the book, the guy dies, and then now the whole rest of the story is other stuff. They're obviously not in detention anymore. So I don't think you could call this book The Breakfast Club with murder because that's not really what it is. It's like detention with some murder and then the whole rest of the story takes place. So I thought it would actually be really funny if the plot twist was that one of the characters was the killer and that they did reveal that in their thoughts and that the whole rest of the book was them trying to hide it and everybody else trying to figure it out or something. That's clearly not what it is, but that would have actually been really interesting. I've got 2 suspects. One's a newer kid that's kind of infiltrating this one friend group, and I definitely thought it could be that kid. I also suspect that maybe the main character committed suicide, and that maybe he's framing the other people as one last big prank thing to do. I don't know. Those are my thoughts so far. It's obviously not one of the 4 main characters. So unless it's all 4 together, kind of an Agatha Christie style thing where it's they all work together to do it and we just don't know it and they're hiding it. But I can't imagine how they could hide it. It's in first person point of view. They can't hide that information. So I'm going to assume it's definitely not one of the main 4 characters. I'm going to assume it's either, a character we've not been introduced to. Maybe there's something going on with the teacher we don't know about. I just hope it's not something we don't know about. I don't know. It's tough because you want it to be kind of not obvious, but you want to be able to sort of figure it out or at least have a clue. You don't want it to be something that just comes out of the blue. Oh, by the way, it was this person because of this reason. But you also don't want it to be so obvious that it's it's clearly this person. I'm going to go with that it's the guy committed suicide and framed the rest of the people because that just seems based on his character and the notes that have come out after his death from the killer. It seems like something that he would have written, that he would have done. So that's what I'm going to go with for now. But anyway, I'm still enjoying it. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. And I probably maybe will read the sequel at this point. And I know now that there's the TV show, so I'm going to possibly watch that. Anyway, I'm going to go read a little bit more and give you an update here in a little bit. Okay, quick update. The baby is asleep still and it's after 8 a.m., which he has never slept past 8 a.m. in a year. So I'm going to have to go wake him up and I really don't want to because he's sleeping so well. But anyway, I am now 50, actually just a little bit over 50% done with this book. I don't know how there's going to be another 50%. I guess more things are going to come to light about what the main characters have done. There's one character who's clearly done something else bad that we don't know about that he's hiding, but I feel like it's a little long. I don't know that it needs to be this long. And it's so much drama. It's just all teen drama, who cheated on who, and oh my gosh, somebody's having, 2 of the characters are having a romance now, and I honestly just don't care. It's just, I don't even know that this is so much mystery as it is realistic fiction. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know that that's the premise of the story and that's how it's framed, but it's all just drama. That's all it is the main characters and their problems, and it's all just your regular high school drama. So I'm going to call this realistic fiction just with a hint of mystery at this point. Who do I think the killer is now? Do I still think it's the guy committed suicide? Maybe, but I don't know. There's a couple other characters that are getting more suspicious, and this one girl was crying in the bathroom and really upset, and I was I bet it's her. So I still possibly suspect the teacher, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm obviously going to finish it, but I really just don't care about what's going on. This is my life right now. Trying to put Ash to bed. He doesn't want to go to bed. He wants to do this with his legs. I don't know why. Someone please help us. It is past his bedtime. Maybe he likes these new Mickey pajamas. I don't know. I got nothing. We have a true mess, everybody. You wouldn't know it. Because he... Oh, there he goes. Yeah, now you can see why. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Please stop. A little over 75% through One of Us is Lying. I just ran 5.7 miles and now I'm going to Starbucks because I can drink all the calories I want because I burned almost 800 calories. So I'm gonna get a venti iced caramel macchiato because I've never had a Starbucks caramel macchiato, but I feel like it'd probably be pretty good. I had one somewhere else. I can't remember where, but anyway, oh my gosh, the drive-through at Starbucks is crazy. But I can't get up again. I can't get out of the car. Oh no. What do I do? Maybe I have to get out of the car. Okay, well, I can't even get to a parking spot because the drive-thru is so backed up. So I'm just going to tell you, this book is so meh. There's nothing wonderful about it. There's nothing terrible about it. It is so blah. I would totally DNF it right now if I wasn't doing this vlog. That's how little I care about the actual mystery and who actually is the killer. I don't care who the killer is because it's clearly not one of the main four. So therefore it's someone that I don't care about. Like the other characters, they're not developed at all. So like, unless it's the one guy, the, you know, actual guy that got killed, unless he committed suicide, then it's no one I care about. Okay, so I'm gonna keep powering through, but oh my gosh, it's just so mad. The writing is just there. It is just there. It is, I guess that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just straightforward. Here's what happened. I don't know. I guess I'm used to reading like somewhat prettier prose or something. Oh, can I get in this parking spot now? So I wound up just going into Starbucks, right? And I've decided I'm too stupid to go to Starbucks because I don't know what all these things mean. What's a macchiato? What's a latte? I don't even know, but I got the macchiato. Is it supposed to be like this? I feel like I saw one once before that was like this too. Am I supposed to stir it? It's like half and half, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Oh, that's just coffee. Oh, I guess that's just espresso. Okay, I'm gonna stir it. And I got my husband an iced chai latte. And it's really good. It's so sweet. That is just pure sugar. Holy crap. But he's running 5 miles this morning too, so he's allowed to drink it. I'm gonna go stir this and see if that makes it any better. So I did finish the book, but I have to show you this. So these pants, you tell me if they're still fashionable. I've had these pants since I was in high school, which was a very long time ago. I've probably had these pants since 2003 or 4. They're like the Tommy Hilfiger little capris that have huge giant legs on them, and on the back there's like a pineapple. What's this side say? Oh, it just says Tommy and the pockets colored on that side. Sorry, my hair's wet. Yeah, so I've had these pants since high school and my husband makes fun of me. So I just had to show you because who would have thought that these pants could come back in fashion like 16 years later, if they're in fashion at all. But 16 years later, here we are and I'm still wearing them. It's over. I did it. I finished this book and now let's give our final thoughts and our rating. So I wound up giving this book, as far as my enjoyment goes, it wound up being, well, actually it's not just enjoyment. It's actually a lot of factors that went into it. I wound up giving it 2.5 stars. So not very good. Basically anything below 3 stars is meh. 2 stars is I actively did not like it. So that was the case with this book. So what I did to rate this book is I used Cawpile, which is the rating system created by Gia Book Roast. I always talk about using it. So there's 7 categories that you rate. And since if I was just rating this based on enjoyment, I knew I'd probably give it a 2. But then I thought, well, but the writing wasn't that bad and the characters weren't that bad. So maybe I should try to rate all of it. So that's why I used the Cawpile rating system. So the first was characters. I gave the characters out of 10. So you rate all of them out of 10 and then do like an average basically. So I gave the characters a 4 because they're very stereotypical. They're not really interesting at all. So A is atmosphere. And I gave this like a 4, I think, also for atmosphere, because there isn't one. I mean, there was no descriptive language. I mean, I don't even know where most of the scenes really even take place. Like, it's nowhere interesting. The setting's not described. Like, you know, it's like as opposite of like Fall of the House of Usher or something as you could possibly get. You could not even describe the atmosphere in this book. Like, there is you just couldn't, because there is no atmosphere. So I don't even know why I'd give it a 4. It's like non-existent. As far as W, which is writing style, I think I gave that one a 5 or a 6, because there's nothing blatantly bad about it. It was just right in the middle. I mean, nothing stood out. There's no like flowery language, fancy metaphors. Not that there has to be, but it was just so straightforward and just not interesting. But it wasn't bad. So I think I gave it like a 5 or a 6 for writing. P is plot. I gave it like a 4, because the ending is so predictable. Oh my gosh. You will see the ending coming from like a mile away. I obviously can't tell you more than that, but it's very predictable. So as far as the rest of the plot goes, I was very mad, because and here's kind of what it all boils down to. This is a realistic fiction, YA, like drama, masquerading itself as a mystery. The mystery is just sort of the vehicle to have these things happen to these characters, like people breaking up with their boyfriends and other people starting a romance together. One kid coming out as gay, one of them being in trouble for drugs and whatnot. And like, it's really just about those 4 characters and their lives. The mystery's just sort of there. And of course the mystery frames the beginning, and it's sort of why things are happening in the book. And then it of course comes back to it at the end. But I feel like so much of the middle of this, and it's a pretty chunky book, as you can see. I feel like so much of the middle is just their lives and all the boring stuff. It's not the mystery part, no. So I don't even know that I would honestly keep this in the mystery section. I mean, I will, because it is a mystery, but it's not. I mean, it's really a realistic fiction. So I gave the plot like a 4, because it's not what I wanted. This is not, it's not a mystery like it's been marketed. So as far as that's intrigue. The only thing that did keep me reading was the intrigue. Honestly, I would have DNF'd this book if it wasn't for this vlog. But I didn't really care enough to know who the killer was, and I predicted the killer anyway, that I could have just DNF'd it and it would have been fine. So if I don't even care that much, it must not be that intriguing. But the intrigue was probably the only interesting part about this book that I was still reading. I was like, okay, I just want to know who did it. Just tell me who the killer is and I can be done. So I think I gave it like a 4 or 5 for intrigue. And then logic, I mean, most of the things made sense, so I gave it like a 6. And then what was the last? Oh, entertainment. I gave it like a 4 for enjoyment. I did not really enjoy it that much, because I don't just want to read about teens and their problems. It was so stereotypical, but clearly students love this book, so they enjoy it. I guess if it's so realistic to like what's going on in their lives. So if you add all those together and then divide them, this came out at a very high 2-star. So it's like 2.5 is what I rated it as, because I wasn't going to round it up to 3, even though it was really close to 3. This is not a 3-star, especially based on my enjoyment. So I gave it 2.5. Why do we think that this is the most popular book in the library? Well, kids are very interested in mystery, but clearly they also still love all their teen drama, and so stereotypical though. Oh my gosh, almost like too much so. But it's, not as badly written as a lot of YA books that I've read. So I guess that's a big part of it. But yeah, that's why kids like it, I think. I'm surprised they like it with it being this long. But there is a sequel, One of Us is Next. I would never read it. I do not care. I will not be watching this TV show. This TV show is for someone that just likes teen drama. That's what it is. It's not so much about the mystery. I'm intrigued to see how they frame the mystery. Maybe the mystery is more of it. I actually really thought there was going to be so much more going on in the detention, and that like they were going to have to try to solve the crime. They're not even solving it for most of the book. Most of the book is all the drama. Towards the very end, they're like, maybe we should finally all 4 get together, because very little of this is the 4 of them working together at all. At the very end, they're like, maybe this part into it here, 80% in, they're like, maybe we should get together. That might be a good idea. Maybe we should figure out who the killer is. Yeah, let's do that. And I was like, what? So they don't even work on the mystery until the end. And I just expected way more mystery at the beginning and wanted them to be in detention longer, apparently, because it was supposed to be like The Breakfast Club, but it wasn't. So those are my thoughts. 2.5 stars. I guess I see why kids like it, but it is not for me. And at least I know how to promote it now, and I'm going to market this as more like a teen drama, not a mystery. So that's what I think, and I am glad I read it though, because I needed to read the most popular book in our school library. So if you've read this book or you're interested in reading it, let me know down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.